This is part one of a four-part story called The Training Farm. At around 12 o'clock on the 23rd of April, the Big Brother movement sent a large single-decker coach to pick up all of us boys, with the exception of Liverpool Bob, who did not want to be sent out to the bush to work. It was decided that he would work in Sydney as a mechanic, so the Big Brother movement could keep a good eye on him until he reached the age of 18. After 18, the Big Brother movement would no longer assume responsibility for any of us boys. I never really saw any of the Big Brother movement directors, so it felt like we were on our own after they found us our first job in the bush. All of our suitcases were loaded on the coach, and the driver headed out for the suburbs to a small place called Cabramatta. On the outskirts of Cabramatta was a dairy farm which the Big Brother movement owned. That was to be our new home until we could get our first bush job. The training farm was a very beautiful place, which was surrounded by lush green fields. The large coach drove through a big double gate and up a dirt track road to the Nissen hut, where our quarters were to be. A couple of big Australian men were waiting to help us out with our cases and gear as the coach came to a halt. Once everyone's gear was in the large barrack-type hut, I laid down on a wireframe bed and took a bit of a breather. I had not been laid down very long before a big booming voice rang out. "All right, you pommy bastards, get off those fucking bunks and let's see what type of rabble they've sent me this time. Line up at the bottom of your beds. My name is Bill Defoe," he said as he strode down the hut. He stopped in front of one boy and said, "Jesus fucking Christ, you're an ugly little bastard, son. What's your fucking handle?" "Me name's Morris," said the boy. "Is your father an ugly little bastard like you?" "Me father's dead," said Morris. "Just as fucking well, mate," said Defoe. "He'd have had a fucking heart attack looking at you, sunshine." Walking down the line, he stopped at another boy. "What's your fucking handle?" "Dave." "Can you work, Dave?" "I've been working for 2 years," said Dave. "I bet you wouldn't work in a fucking iron lung, you big pufter. Who curls your fucking hair now your sister's not around?" "No one. It's natural," said Dave. When Defoe got level with where I was standing, he took one look at me and said, "God love a fucking duck. You should be still at home on your mother's tits. Who the fucking hell sent a little worm like you out here?" "Big Brother movement," I said. "You know how to wank yourself off yet, lad?" "Yes," I said as my face went bright red, and all the boys started to laugh. "Does spunk fly out the end of your dick, or are you still pumping air?" Everyone had a good laugh at that one. I declined to answer that question, and he said, "Okay, you pommy fucking bastards, follow me and I'll show you around the place." We all followed Defoe out of the hut and across the field to where the dairy parlour was. He showed us how everything worked, and as he went along, he attached jobs to everyone. I was the only boy who never got a job, and on the way back to the Nissen hut, he said to me, "Come here, you scrawny-ass little fucker. You know what that building is?" "No." "Well, that's a cookhouse. You can help Mrs. Blackwell to serve the meals and do the dishes, all right? You can take some rest now and make fucking sure you're all ready for work in the morning. Breakfast will be at 6 o'clock sharp. If you're not out of fucking bed, you'll be in deep shit." Everyone breathed a sigh of relief when Defoe strode off across the paddock to the administration building. Let's get some rest before that big ugly bastard changes his mind, said Dave. We lay on our beds and tried to get a bit of rest because, for sure, Bill Defoe was going to make it quite hard for all of us. Most of the boys were asleep, but I found it very difficult to rest. I decided to go for a walk over to the milking parlour. When I walked out into the backyard, it looked like it had never been cleaned out for months. There was cow shit 6 inches deep all over the place. Just then, an inner voice said to me, "This yard looks very much like Spencer's yard, but Spencer would never have a dirty yard like this one. Why don't you grab that shovel and clean it all out?" What a good idea, I thought. It sounds as though I'm going to have a hard life over here, so might as well get started right now. I worked real hard, non-stop, till the whole yard had been shovel clean. It took me 4 hours to do it. As soon as all the shit had been stacked on the old shit pile, I hosed the yard down with water. By the time I'd finished, there were blisters on my hands and fingers. When I looked around the yard, it was as clean as a whistle. I felt a great sense of accomplishment, so I went back over to the Nissen hut and took a well-deserved lay-down. Now I can rest, I thought. I've earned one. I'd only been resting for about an hour when I heard Defoe's loud Australian voice booming and echoing through the army-style barracks. "Get off of those fart sacks, you pommy bastards! It's time to eat. That's if your mummy's little darlings are not too fucking tired." As he walks down the line of beds, he says, "Who the fucking hell took it upon themselves to clean up the dairy yard without asking for permission first? Which one of you pack of pommy bastards did it?" "I did," I said in a nervous voice. "What do you mean, I did, you little fucking pipsqueak? Who the fucking hell helped you?" "No one. I saw it hadn't been done, and it needed doing. I'm the one to blame." Defoe strides down the shed and stands in front of me. "Show me your hands." I open my hands. There are about 6 or 8 blisters on them. "I wouldn't have believed it unless I saw it with my own bloody eyes." "Perhaps I misjudged you, you scrawny-looking pommy bastard." "That's what I like to see," he roars as he stands in front of me, looking down the line. Then he turns to me. "Good lad, you're going to make it in the bush. Now go outside and piss on your hands. That'll help your blisters." "Where's that ugly little bastard called Morris, and that big curly-headed puffer called Dave?" "Ah, there you are. You two can take the little bastard's job in the kitchen, and if you can work as good as him, I'll get you a job in the bush. Now fucking move, you limey bastards. Your dinner's getting cold." After the meal, we all sit around a bit. Some of us talk and some of us write letters home to our families. At about 9 o'clock, the lights in the large Nissen hut are turned out and we all try to get a good night's sleep. Early the next morning, I can no longer rest, so I get up and dress myself in my work clothes, ready for my first day's work. Just for a joke, I grab my old trumpet from under the bed. I pop the locks, put the mouthpiece in. Then, with a great lungful of air, I blew the morning reveille. "Oh, shit! Put that fucking trumpet away, Titch. It's only 5 o'clock in the morning." A few seconds later, 2 or 3 pillows come flying across the room in my general direction. Then a large work boot with a rubber heel bounced at my feet. "All right, boys. All right. Just a little joke. Don't let Bill Defoe catch in bed. He's likely to do anything, you know." At 6 o'clock, we were all in the kitchen tucking into a large plate of eggs, bacon, and toast, and a tin mug of piping hot tea. Defoe came into the kitchen, gets himself a large plate of breakfast, then disappears back outside again. After breakfast, we all go back to our beds for an extra few minutes, lay down, while our big breakfast digests. After breakfast, we all go back to our beds for an extra few minutes, lay down, while our breakfast digests. It's not long before Defoe's big rough head appears in the doorway. "All right, you pommy fucking bastards, on your feet, it's time to go to work. Who blew that fucking trumpet this morning?" "I did," in a nervous voice. "Get it out and play me a tune, Squirt." I pull out the trumpet and play Defoe a couple of traditional songs. Then, just for fun, I played the theme music to The Lone Ranger. Defoe seemed to love the trumpet, and when I put it away, he comes over and says, "Why do you want to work on a farm in the bush, Squirt?" "'Cause I can't get it out of me head. Ever since I knew it was possible for me to come out here to Australia, that's all I ever wanted to do." "I can get you a job in the Army Cadets. And after that, you'll get bumped up to the regular army. You'll make real good money, and you won't have to go through any shit in the army band. You could make yourself a beaut career out of music, Squirt. So have a good think about it, all right?" "I can tell you right now, Mr. Defoe, I don't want to join any army band. I just want to go out and work on a farm in the bush." "Just think about it, lad. Just think about it." He turns and walks out of the Nissen hut. That's the end of part 1. It's a 4-part story. Part 2 will be learning to ride a horse.